Mr. Reliable. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, TJ, good morning. I'm a little bit early. Just listening to some news, getting ready to go. We got a couple of minutes before we start. You all pretty much know how I do things. If I get here early, sometimes I'll chat a little bit in the background. It's okay. We don't have to have super strict rules, except for our trades. You can start whenever you want, Chantal. I'm ready and up. It's already up. I enjoy listening to Dr. Gottlieb. I think he's a really smart guy. All right, we're getting started. We're here early. How's everybody feeling this morning? I can see you, not in your room or in your office. We still got a couple of minutes. James, I'm pretty much always on bonds um, for the job report. Hey, Steve, I like bonds. ZN0921. They've already rolled. The 10, was it the 10 year? Is it the 10 or yeah, it's the 10. I think. Looking at ZB again for this report. Let's go in the room. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Jobs Report 10-minute trades trade room. My name is Lee Goldstein, trading director at 10-minute trades. Please remember that all of the trades we discuss are for educational purposes only, and it is possible to lose money trading futures, so trade carefully. Please trade carefully. Now, I have my news open. I'm thinking I may keep my news off to the side. There's so much of it. And I wanted to watch the Canada jobs report also. The reason I've been putting a little bit of attention on that Canada report, it's a pretty low risk trade. If you know the setup and you want to trade Canada jobs, it is a tradable report. You just want to use a bracket of 10 and small targets because it tends to be low liquidity, targets of like 7 and 15 or 7 and 20. Enter at 8:30 and stop at 12. And I wish Canada jobs, this was Canada jobs in April when it actually traded by itself. US PPI traded that day. But when I say Canada jobs traded by itself, what I mean is it usually trades with the US jobs report, which is a shame because otherwise the Canada jobs report would be a separate trade. We'd have an extra trade. And it had a great move in April. And it's been moving reasonably well over the past 6 months. I didn't test prior to the last 6 months. This is the data that we're looking at. Also, don't forget that we use Financial Juice in the background. They have a stream that we listen to. How's the audio, folks? I assume you can hear me just fine. Let me know for sure that you can hear me well. I just want to make sure you can hear me. Good. Okay. So the Canada trade is definitely a valid trade. Like I said, targets of 7 and 15, 7 and 20. The key is the 10 bracket. A 10 bracket on Canada kept me safe on a couple of trades that might have lost money. See, what I don't feel like doing today is, I mean, I do like to have the news on the screen that I'm trading on. It really does help. It does help. I'm trading bonds. I'm not trading gold on this report. Gold is definitely our second choice. For some folks, it's their first choice. Gold, if it moves well, moves the most out of most of the indexes that we look at for this report. Gold moves really well, but it whips more than other indexes. So it's definitely a higher risk index to trade. And you could see the bracket is 12 on gold. The activation is at 8:30. I always, on reports of this type, don't use a target as big as 15, not as my first target. Not as my first target. And the reason for that is because if you get a lousy move, it could still be a 7-tick move. So I would be more prone to do something like a target of 7 then 15, then 30. In other words, if you can afford 3 contracts with gold, I'd shrink my first target because I want to get filled on that first target. Nimro, I assume you got my email and that you should be able to get all the info you need off the website now. So the bond setup, it's a bracket of 3. Target of 5, 5 and 15. And again, I do something similar. I trade a little bit smaller on that first target. I go for 4. Let's look at the video from last month. Don't forget, 2 months ago, it was Good Friday. That's why there's no jobs report in the journal. Good Friday, the markets were closed. That's unusual. I don't recall that ever happening with a jobs report. It happened last year with U.S. retail, and that's pretty unusual. So let's see if we can see what our setup was last month with bonds. That's what I want to see. I mean, I know what it was. Here's the setup I used. A bracket of 3, 3 contracts. I traded a total of 5 contracts. I went for 4 ticks. I'm thinking my second target 7, and then maybe 12 is what I'm guessing. I don't remember. 15 maybe. You might as well make the third target big. If you hit your first 2 targets, you should have time to exit the trade with a profit if you have to. Stop is 6. Stop is 6. It's a little more than $15 a tick. It's half of 31 and a quarter, which is ZB. Then you have ZN, then you have ZF. There's a lot of liquidity on Z. A lot of liquidity on ZN and ZF. Nimro, when I get back, I'll double check and make sure. I'll try and figure out why you can't download the software. It looked to me like you were enabled to be able to do it. You know, you just click on it, and then in the upper right corner, you just click on download. It's a Google Drive file. So the setup I used last month was a bracket of 3, targets of 4, 7, and 15. And it was a very big move. I'm not anticipating quite as big a move this month as we had last month. Now, because I'm anticipating that means absolutely nothing. Just remember that. It doesn't mean a thing. It's just, I'm just thinking out loud. Hey, good morning, Mike. Just thinking out loud has absolutely no meaning. And then the trade, because I'm not, what am I basing it on? It's just a thought. I think the job numbers will be, the job numbers are tricky. Why? There's a lot of jobs available. There's not, supposedly there's not as many people available for the jobs. for reasons that we're not going to get into. You could see it was a really, really strong move last month on gold as well. But you look at gold and it's got that tail. You know, it does that tail sometimes. And that's why you have a big bracket on gold. Keeps you safe. Keeps you safer, right? So there was no April report. March, I can always tell when I've downloaded a video of the trade from the trade room video, and it's not my own personal video. My own personal videos, they're never corrupt. Hardly ever, I should say. Let me just get myself recorded here properly. So do you like these backgrounds better or the fancy backgrounds? Which backgrounds do you like better? I kind of like the fancy background, but one of our members didn't was complaining he couldn't see them. So I got to figure out, he couldn't see the charts well, so I got to figure out why. So let's see, March, here comes the trade. Gold on the right, bonds on the left. And I've been in this habit of moving my charts over. So I made my margins bigger in the hopes that I don't move my charts. It's the excitement of the trade, that's the truth. So March was a nice trade also. Good moving trade. We've had good moves lately. Lately, the moves have been bigger with bonds. You can see, you go back into January and the moves were smaller, even into February. But the last two have been strong moves. My gut feeling is we're going to go back to not a gigantic move today. But like I said before, that doesn't mean I'm right. And just to give you an idea what Canada looks like, bracket of 10, targets of 7 and 15 or 7 and 20. You can go all the way up to 30. But Canada has a good jobs move also. We traded it live in April. It traded by itself without the U.S. jobs report. And this is a family money trade. And I would trade Canada with my family's money on this report. But we don't have a report, a daily trading report for it. I think we should. The reason we don't is because it doesn't trade by itself often enough. That's the real reason. It's not because it has anything to do with the quality of the trade or anything like that. And then the gold setup for folks that like trading gold, although, you know, gold's been murderous, been very inconsistent for months. Usually on this report, it's more consistent. And look at the moves. You have giant moves on gold, 116 ticks. Of course, that doesn't take into account slippage. There would be slippage there, but just much bigger moves. I remember January on gold was real tough. It was a very tough trade. Not everybody made money on it. Not everybody got filled in January. This was January, and it was because you got to remember gold is less liquid than many other instruments. Gold also has much higher margins. So you need a bigger account to trade larger sizes, right? So gold was on the right. And I remember it burst up first, and a lot of people made money on that burst up. But the real move that week, that month, when it was done up, I believe, if I remember correctly, the swaps, I think it shot down and had a much bigger move to the downside. Maybe my memory is wrong. Let's see. Yeah, it did. It did eventually head down. The important number, the two important, most important numbers in the news results on this trade are the non-farm payrolls. That's the jobs. That's the jobs report number. They're looking for 650,000. That's a lot. Okay. And the other very important number is the employment rate. If the rate goes down and the jobs go up, that's the best result. Okay. That's the best. Going to check my time. How do you check your time? By going to the website time.is. I think it's time to move time.is up here. Oh, and if my sync is off, then I got to bring out an extra tool called Dimension 4. And I use Dimension 4. I click the Sync Now button. And I'm looking for the line that says synchronize to put me in sync. Then I close out Dimension 4, shut it down, and I do the whole thing over, starting from scratch. I go to time.is and Dimension 4, put my computer in sync. Now, of course, I know that you can click on your taskbar on the lower right and sync through Windows, but syncing through Windows just creates a lot of errors. So I prefer to do it with a third-party program. It's more reliable. So I'm going to trade, I'm going to risk about $700-800 on this trade. Right now I'm using a bracket of 3. I reserve the right to choose 4. And I'm going to do 3 positions for 4 ticks, 2 positions for 7 ticks, and 1 position for 15 ticks. No, you know what? 13 ticks. So target 1 is 4, target 2 is 7, target 3 is 13, my stop is 6. So if you calculate roughly $15 plus a few pennies and change, let's round up $15.50 a contract. It's $15.50 a contract, a tick. So it's 93. So I'm risking about $600. I'm trading ZN. Now, if you trade ZN, make sure you're on ZN9. Okay. My entry time is 8:29:59. It's a breakout trade, trading a real account. I'm going to label it. And we'll call it NFP, non-farm payrolls. That's what they call this trade. So bear with me, I'm just listening. So 674 is what Financial Juice is saying. I think quite different from investing.com by 20,000. I'll check, Nimro. Let me see. I've got 3 positions for a target of 4. I've got 2 positions for a target of 7. Thank you. I always go back and check. Thank you very much. And my third target is 13. And you're absolutely correct. As Nimro always, like I said, check your setup 3 times. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. My stop is 6. Cancel is 10 seconds. Usually we follow the cancel. Entry time is 8:29:59. It's a breakout trade. And I'm watching Canada. I'm going to leave my news up. I'll leave the news up. Put my charts on live. Check our sync time again. A lot of folks here. I want to thank everybody for coming. A lot of people watching on YouTube also. Give us stream a like. Give our stream a like. I mean, you'll find out. Also, you can click on the notification bell, join our channel. We do this. We stream 4 times a week. And our family money trades, we had a really lousy natural gas trade yesterday. We are 15 for 18, I believe, in family money trades since we started. 15 out of 18. Most trades, trading normal size, like what a regular person, not like a gigantic hedge fund manager would trade. Just trading like the average Joe. That's a crazy way to say it, but the average Joe. And I was just looking at Canada on the right. I like that Canada trade. That's the truth. I do like the Canada trade. It's so, I woke up, got to my office. The light was broken in my office, and the air conditioner was broken in my office. And it's like humidity is like 100. Just feels like Miami Beach in the middle of summer. It's really hot today. A lot of people watching on YouTube and a ton of people in the room. Hey, just type in why you're here. Type in why you're here. I'd like to know. Why are you here? If you're not a member, why are you here? Just curious. Give me your reasons. Say hello and why you're here. Um, I think that people like to watch. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like watching an accident about to happen, right? Steve lovingly in the morning. That's funny. We've been here a long time, folks. You know, we've been doing this. I've been doing this. I don't know, 4 or 5 years. You'd think I would have burned out by now. You have to have a certain type of personality to be able to do this. That's the truth. You have to be able to take a lot of pain, right? You have to be able to take some pain because things don't always go your way. You have to be able to deal with that without crawling up into a ball in the proverbial corner, like we said. And then you have to just dust yourself off and keep going. I guess, Mike. Yeah. It's funny how in life there's certain things that are very, very important to people. Or, like buying a house, buying a car, um, trading can get really crazy. But maybe it's my psychological DNA. I mean, I definitely get nervous sometimes, but overall, I just don't really let things bother me all that much. I mean, yes, sometimes I'll carry things with me for a couple of days, but overall, when it's over, it's over. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If I screw up, I screw up. I always try my best. I did the schedule for next week, and next week's a real interesting trading week. Also, it's a good week. People should sign up with us. You could still, familytrades.com. Familytrades.com. I think the link is still working. We don't usually turn our links off, and you can sneak in even though it's supposedly expired. Familytrades.com. I mean, really, we're focusing on very, very specific trades these days. It's true, you get 3 minutes to screw up. Well, it's not quite that simple, Steve, because you have to prepare, you got to study, you got to, make sure the index you're going to trade is the index that you feel is going to give you the best chance of doing well. Calvin, I have really mixed feelings about the prop trading companies. I haven't talked to too many people that have fantastic things to say about them. They have a lot of rules, right? They have a lot of rules. So we got about 40 seconds. All right, 5 seconds. Okay, I didn't do a thing. I swear my stop disappeared. Did you see that, folks? My stop disappeared. Either I'm losing my mind or my stop disappeared. I made the same exact amount of money I made last month. And look, I really think that we're choosing our targets very well, but we should choose targets. The second target should be a little bigger. Second target should be a little bigger. Did anybody else notice that my stop disappeared? Or was it just me? First of all, I want to know who made money. Familytrades.com. We saved our week, okay? This trade made our week. Why would you not want to trade with us? There's a lot of you in this room. Why would you not want to trade with us? It's absurd. It's absurd that people don't want to trade with us. Please write in how much money you made in the chat. Please tell me how much money you made in the chat, okay? And did anybody lose money on that trade? I made $593 in 20 seconds, folks. 20 seconds. I mean, is there anything else that I can tell you to make you join up with us? It's familymoneytrades.com, okay? Familymoneytrades.com. Why in any world would you not want to join with us? Why in any world? Familymoneytrades.com. You can trade with us for 3 months, and you paid for it today in this one trade. You paid for it today, folks. All right? Familymoneytrades.com. I don't sell in the room. You know that. I don't sell in the room. I'm selling in the room. Familymoneytrades.com, $2.99, 3 months of everything. Everything. Trade room. Daily reports. My smiling face. Okay? My smiling face. What more do you need? What more do you need than my smiling face? Come on, join up with us. Come on. There's no reason. No reason. Familymoneytrades.com. What are we, 16 out of 19? 16 out of 18? Whatever it is. Remember what our account was at. Let's look at Canada for a second. Familymoneytrades.com. Okay. Who made money? Calvin. Who made money? Type it in. Type it in. Please. People don't believe it. People don't believe it. We had another profitable week. Natural gas hurt. I'll admit it. Natural gas hurt. Fred made 375. Mike made 312. Jeffrey, who's brand new, made 343. Jeff, you just paid for your subscription. You realize that, right? All the grief we went through, was it worth it? Jeff, was it worth it? You bet. That's right. And you know what, folks? I went on to Jeffrey's machine. I think it was over the weekend. I'll do anything to help you to succeed. Anything. Okay? Canada was a huge winner. Why would you not want to trade this Canada report? I was going to trade them both. I'm sorry I didn't. Let's look at the news real quick. GC, I'm guessing it probably would have been a winner also. GC looks like a perfect, easy move. Mike, you caught Euro. Very nice, Mike. Euro, US dollar. I don't trade Forex at all, Mike. That was a long move. Is that a long move? Harold, 312. Very nice. Who else made money? Come on. Who else made money? If you're watching us on YouTube, at least give me a like for having the guts to do this live with 6 contracts. Ian, I traded 6 contracts. I risked $540 to make $593, Ian. Okay? That's what I risked. I traded 6 contracts, 6 stops, $15 a stop. It's about $100 per contract, roughly 600. What was the news? I didn't even look at the news. When you get a move like that, you don't really care what the news is, unless you're going to trade a reversal. Okay? Like Steve. The reversal, it's almost always there on this report. Let's take a peek at the news. Based on the fact that bonds went up, the news must have been lousy, right? Was the news lousy? Let's see. What did gold do? Gold went up also, so I'm assuming there were less jobs created just based on the move. So non-farm payrolls, yeah, still, think about it, folks. It's still 492. No, it was 559. It's still a pretty darn good number, but not as good as they were looking for. The unemployment rate is incorrect. Let me see what it is on Juice. U.S. unemployment, 5.8. Okay. 5.8. That was the Canadian. 5.8 is correct. Unemployment was better. So you had a little bit of mixed news, Nice reversal. I'm happy, very happy to grab almost $600 at the end of the week. Everything screamed on this report. Not surprised. Juan, you're funny. Also, we trade the euro. We've traded the euro on this report. Let's take a look at the euro. So look at the euro. What a nice, safe move the euro had. Now, you did have a potential early move there. Not early, but a potential. No, that it would have been this candle, the big candle. Euro looked good. Canadian dollar traded on their news. Does oil move on this report? It used to. Years ago, oil, it even looks like oil moved on this report. No joke. But I would not trade oil on this report. That's not something that I would do. You do almost get high when you have a winning trade. Not that I know what getting high is. I don't really know what that means, but if a winning trade, making $500 in 20 seconds of being in the market is a fantastic feeling. It's a fantastic feeling. Now, Ian, on YouTube, I will tell you this, that there are reports that I don't always care about the risk to reward. If I know that a report is really trading well, but it doesn't have good risk to reward, I don't really care. I'll still trade it. I don't have a rule at all that a report has to have good risk to reward. Otherwise, I won't trade it. Okay? Just so you know, there are certain reports that because of the instrument we're trading, it might have lousy risk to reward, but the report is so profitable so often, you're not going to follow that particular rule. We don't have risk to reward rules. We don't have the same rules that most other companies do because we trade differently. We're trading on a schedule and we're trading events that most people say is not safe to trade. And we know that you can trade the events. We know it. We know it. Okay. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. 593 on jobs report saved the week. I was just telling my boss, he follows what I do. I actually have to answer to somebody. But that was an awesome trade. Let's look at the trade. Let's watch. Let's look at it. I recorded it. Let's see if my stop really did disappear. I was a little bit worried. My stop, I thought I didn't see my stop. I did get a little bit concerned. As long as I see the price going up in one direction, as long as you see movement in one direction, you don't have to panic, right? You never have to panic if you see prices going in one direction. Now, I was thinking of making the bracket bigger, which would have made no difference by one tick. Sometimes I like to have a slightly bigger bracket to keep me safer in volatile markets. But then you want to maybe adjust your target by the amount of bracket increase that you do. In other words, if your bracket is 10 and your target's 4, and you make your bracket 11, make your target 3. That's something you might consider, okay? You might consider doing that. I would swear that my stop disappeared. And, technology can, yeah, I have no stop. Oh, I couldn't see it. There it is. There it is. That was a very nice trade. Unfortunately, that's the trade of the week. Or fortunately. I mean, we've done it so many times, it's boring. I might use ADP. So you could see, so the reason I use a small first target, just as a lesson here, if you use that small first target with 3 contracts, right, in a very quick amount of time, right there, 5 seconds into the trade, I had made $171 because I had a small first target and it got hit. It got hit. Then price kept going up. It hit my first target, second target, and then by the time I scrolled my chart down to look at my third target, I was out of the trade. I was already out of the trade. So very, very nice trade. Good winner. Good winner. Natural gas was a stop this week, Ian. It was a terrible trade. Terrible trade. Thinking about just one contract on natural gas because of the inherent risk in the index. I still think it's family money because it's 80%. It's been trading 80%. It's still family money. You all want to see next week's trades, or should I make people pay to see the family money trades? Next week, there's a lot of family money trades. You got WASD next week. We've got some trades next week that are not family money trades that I'm trading. Canada bank statement, I'm trading that. Okay. But I'll trade it in the other account. And then, you know, the usual reports, the oil report on Tuesday. And then we've got, let me show you. Folks, familymoneytrades.com. Join with us. You would have paid for your 3 months on today's trade. 3 months on today's trade. Last month, including today, I think we're like 17 of 19 trades. No, 17 of 20, I believe. We've had 3 bad trades. We've had 3 bad trades. And we're trading the way a normal person would trade in general. I like trading the way a normal person would trade. So you get an honest idea of what you could expect. We don't like to make up, you know, you're going to make $1 million trading with us. Yeah, you know, trade 100 contracts. Oh, the bond auctions are next week. 10-year, 30-year, WASD, natural gas, 10-year, the API report. I'll trade bulk, JOLTS. I'm going to trade Canada. I'm going to trade CPI. There's a lot of good trades next week. So it's a good week to join up with us, folks. Definitely a good week to join up with us. So like I said, I don't normally sell in the room, but things have been going really nicely. FamilyMoneyTrades.com. Join up with us. Join up with us and you'll make money. We're making money. Look at my account. My account got down to 12 grand. We started at 15 and it's 16.5 now. Okay. The account is starting to head up in the direction we want it to head because we're going to trade the reports that make us money. And we're going to pass by the crappy reports. It's time to really just concentrate on the good reports. There's no reason to trade the crappy reports. Now, there are reports that they're just bubbling under. You know, they've almost become a family money trade, but they're not quite there yet. So there are trades like that. Plenty of them. Plenty of them. All right. Any questions, folks? Does anybody have a question? We're done for the day. We're done for the week. We had another profitable week. Another profitable week. If you trade all the family money trades, you should make money. I did. Try to manage them in a way that you can, the ones that you like the best, trade the most contracts on that your broker allows you to. I added an extra contract today because this report's been behaving really well. You know what we didn't look at? ZB. ZB, you can make some serious money on this report. Now, ZB is lower liquidity than ZN. So look at the wick. You might have had a lot of slippage on ZB. You might have had a lot of slippage, okay, compared to ZN. Gold's been trading well on this report too. Gold has been trading well on this report too. The euro is good. You don't have to trade what we trade. You don't have to trade what we trade. You can trade micro gold, right? You can trade micros. Look how nicely, well, micro gold, the question is, did it go down before it went up? You have to look at a replay, make sure it didn't do that. You can trade the ES usually on this report. Look at the beautiful move the ES had. Very possible trade. NQ. Right? NQ. How about MNQ? Right? You could trade micros. All sorts of things you can do to get involved with us. Right. Stephen traded MNQ. Stephen, you made $277 on MNQ? Okay. It just goes to show there's a lot of different things you can do. A lot of different things you can do. So that's still a lot of jobs created, folks. 559,000 jobs is a lot of jobs. It might not have been quite as many as they wanted, but it's still a lot of jobs. And the markets, they look like they're up to me. The markets are kicking butt today. They're up very nicely. Steve, I sent you an email. I never got the screens. Yeah, I think you forgot to attach the screen. I sent you an email this morning. All right, folks, I want to thank everybody for coming. Next week, I'm going to talk to my boss. We might let you have one more week if enough people don't sign up. I mean, I don't understand why you would not want to sign up with us if in one trade you can pay for your subscription. More often than not. And that's the honest truth. I almost doubled the cost of our subscription for 3 months in one trade with so little risk. And I only risked $600. You know, it's really time that people get involved with us and stay with us. Stay with us for a while and trade the family money trades now. Trade the trades that make sense. Okay. And I'll see everybody. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm always happy when Friday ends beautifully. It makes my weekend. It makes for a great weekend. You know, I hate having a lousy trade on Friday. Mark, I didn't hear from you. Did you trade, Mark? Are you still here? You too, Trader Jay. I don't know who you are, but I probably do know who you are. Adrian, I see you're in here and you're new. So I hope you like what you see. Adrian, so thanks for coming. I think you're overseas, if I remember. David, can you see the charts? Can you see the charts now, David? Adrian, I forgot where you are. Great Britain? Are you in Great Britain? Do they call it Great Britain or do they call it the United Kingdom? What's the proper name? What's the proper name? United Kingdom. Okay. David, I changed the charts for you, but I'm probably going to go back. We got to figure out how you can see them better. I like the crazy colors. All right, folks. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I had a good time. Always have a good time when you make money. Always had a good time when you make money. So I'll see everybody, I think Tuesday. But there are a lot of trades tomorrow, next week. There's quite a few trades. All right, folks. Have a great day counting your money. All right. Have a good day counting your money. Chantal, if you're there, you could shut down the tube. Shut down the tube. And YouTube folks, give us a like at least. Give us a like. I only see one like. Come on. You can do better than that. One like. How could you not like what you just saw? We made $600 almost. 593.75 in 20 seconds. How could you not like that? That's proper trading. Knowing what to trade, when to trade, and how to trade it. All right? Sometimes we really get it right. All right, folks. I'll see everybody next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.